Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Adrian's Awesome Podcast, where today we will discuss gambling addiction among the youth and how it has continued to grow over the last 2 years. We're going to be joined by a special guest here today, but before I get into that, I think I might as well tell you a little bit about the problem at hand. Sports gambling targets vulnerable groups, especially young adults and sport fans. The spread of sports gambling is believed to have been fueled by aggressive advertising nature. This is due to partnerships with all the major leagues, influencers, and promotional offers. These offers are often appealing directly to younger audiences who are already engaged with sports and watch on a regular basis. Nathan Bomey has stated that the quick growth of these betting platforms like DraftKings and Kalshi has made gambling feel really normal while watching sports. But what we seem to forget is sports gambling has just came back into the public eye in 2018. Although many people believe that sports gambling being legalized actually does help instead of illegal underground sports betting to take place. But with that, the addition of new loopholes have been added, such as Kalshi, Polymarket, and Fliff, where betting is basically a trade instead of a real bet, making 18-year-olds allowed to participate. I thought I would talk about some of my own gambling experiences. When I was going into college and I figured out how much I could gamble on all these sites, winter break hit and I gambled 150 times, making a total of $450. Those winnings made me want to keep going and keep gambling more. So every few nights, me and my friends would watch a game and throw some money on it. While I was winning money on it, I can't say the same for a lot of my friends who I was doing it with. I had a friend lose $1,000 in one night because the Lions couldn't even beat Washington. And after you've been building money for quite a bit of time and then you lose it all in one bet, well, I've been there before and it really sucks. But I would say my worst habit sports gambling is not knowing when to cash out because I always want to make more money than I already have. So when you lose a large amount of money that you could have just withdrawn into your bank account, then it makes people really want to start chasing their losses in gambling. All the money that they've lost, they just want to get it all back and more. And this can lead to way bigger losses, more than they can afford. And with gambling being legal for 21-year-olds and 18-year-olds with all of these other apps, habits like gambling can start early in people's lives. Amy Prigg states that college students are usually the most vulnerable to the normalization of gambling, and this is due to the increased exposure of all of these gambling sites to people in such a developmental stage of their life. Risk-taking is more common in young adults, and they tend to be drawn in by these promotional bonuses like risk-free bets or deposit matches, and this can lead to a fake sense of security within your bets. And these strategies for marketers can encourage people to start gambling without fully understanding all the long-term risks that can be associated with it. And this can lead to habitual betting and heavy addiction cases leading to very unhealthy behavior among the youth and even stemming into your adulthood. And those are just some of the many reasons why sports gambling may need some more regulations. So thank you guys for tuning into this podcast. Catch me for another one. And there's a bonus segment at the end of this podcast that I'm going to play for you guys. I put my friend on the podcast, but I don't even want to lie to you guys. These numbers are not accurate at all. So please do not think that we have a huge gambling addiction because these numbers are not accurate at all. So here is the clip. And with that information, it's time to bring on our special guest, Drew Harrison. His last name isn't even Harrison. He just wanted to be confidential. All right, here's the clip now.
Man, it is such a blessing to be on this podcast today. I got so much great stuff to tell y'all guys. I want to start off by saying sports gambling had a big impact on my life. I lost upwards of $65,000 in the past year and a half off of sports gambling. It was really a dark period. It was my college fund. I gambled it away. And I had nothing but $1 to my name, and it was a rough time, but there's ups and downs with it, I ended up putting that $1 in my account onto a 18-leg parlay, and needless to say, we flipped it to about $15,000, and then I ended up smartening up. I quit after that. I dumped most of it into a Roth IRA. I maxed out my 401k through my work, And now I'm really living life. I have my investment portfolio all set up. There's highs and lows to it. And the barrier to entry is so small because you can start with such a small amount of money and work your way up to such a large amount of money. And that's what people have their mind focused on, is they only see the large part of money. They only see, oh, I'm going to make all this money, I'm going to be so rich. They don't think about how you can really lose it all. And if you're chasing your bets like most young and impressionable people do, you can really lose a lot of money, and you can really mess your life up for quite a long time.
So as you can tell, those numbers are kind of out of proportion, out of the water, but you can take some real from that, because that is a lot of people's lives. That does happen to people around this age, especially around certain environments like in college, around drinking. All of that stuff can be gateways into each other. So just take for what you can from that, and thank you for tuning into my podcast, and have a good one.